Greetings, fellow scribes! Welcome back to the archive! This week, I continue my series on the classes of AD&D 2nd Edition Dark Sun by talking about the Athasian Bard. Bards are always one of those interesting classes. You either love them or you hate them. And the Bards on Dark Sun are a little bit different than the standard Bard. They're one of those classes where they made two minor changes that massively changed a lot mechanically about the class. And then they started with the world differences. So sit back, relax, and enjoy as we talk about the Athasian Bard. Imagine, if you will, that you are a lord or lady in one of the city-states. One of the nobles. The people who even some of the higher-end Templars have to think about carefully how they're going to deal with. And you are enjoying your evening. You're on your veranda, looking out your garden. You have some guests over. And one of your servants comes up to you and informs you that Lord Mirax has sent a company of bards to entertain you for this evening. Your skin goes pale. You feel that icy dagger of fear deep in your chest. You made Lord Mirax look horrible last week. And he sent bards? Is he going to kill you? Is it going to be one of your family? But you just nod to your servant and smile, hiding your fear, and tell the servant to see them in. And this is the Bard of Athas. You see, on other D&D worlds, bards are the roving minstrels. People who travel from place to place telling tales, spreading the news about what's happened. On Dark Sun, however, bards are part of the city, part of the predators of the stone and sand within the walls of Tyr or Gulg or Nibene or any of the city-states. And tradition says you cannot turn away bards who are sent to you. Which means bards are also the world's assassins. Yes. Welcome to the subtle difference of Dark Sun. Or in this case, the not-so-subtle difference. Sure, on some of the classic D&D worlds, bards were information gatherers. Spies and espionage. Here, nothing so subtle. Now, what's interesting is, mechanically, bards have only two significant differences from the standard bard in Dungeons & Dragons 2nd Edition. The core bard, the standard bard, had only 4 thief skills: climb walls, detect noise, pick pockets, and read languages. The Athasian Bard has all the thief skills and advances in them much like a thief. other key difference is they don't get spells. They are instead masters of poison. And when I say masters of poison, I mean Dungeons & Dragons has always had a range of poisons, especially 2nd edition. Poisons were actually categorized by the class poison. Like, Class A poison had to be injected, had a 10 to 30 minute onset, and would do 15 damage if you failed to save, or no damage if you succeeded. Okay? The Bard in Dark Sun could make any of the poisons. In fact, each level, the Bard would roll 1d4 and add his level to that roll. And that would determine which new poison he could make. If the roll is 18 or higher, the Bard could, of course, pick whichever poison. But the big thing is that, and yes, the Bard could make a single application of that poison every day using easily obtained materials. These two differences, that Bards had all the thief skills. Pickpockets, open locks, find and remove traps, move silently, hide in shadows, detect noise, climb walls, and read languages, versus the standard Bard only having 4 of those. And that Bards on Dark Sun could make poisons, could make any of the extremely deadly poisons of the setting. Now understand, this means at first level, he could be making class A, B, C, D, or E poison. You don't know which one until you roll. But at 2nd level, he gets access to the first instant death poisons with a good roll. So it gets kind of interesting what Bards can do. Now, in addition to this, they still had the standard Bard abilities of they could influence the reactions of people they encounter. Their music could be used to inspire, as in buff their companions. And they learn a little bit of everything, which means they get local knowledge proficiency as a free skill. And they had a cumulative 5% chance per level of being able to identify any randomly encountered magical item. Now, of course, this identifying it isn't just going, oh, that's a sword +1. It would be, that is the sword, whatever it's called. It was wielded by this hero and this hero over these periods. It has a mild enchantment guiding the blade to seek the blood of its foes, something like that. In other words, storytelling identification. Yeah, it means it's a sword +1, but it also means there's backstory to it. That's why I've always liked the Bards myself. But this is the Bard. The Athasian Bard is a different animal than what most people are used to when they think of a Bard. They are dangerous. They are cunning, because they have to be. At the same time, they might not be there to kill you. They might actually just be there because someone sent them as a gift. It does happen. It also sends a message that I thought about you enough to send bards. I didn't send them to kill you this time. But that is the Athasian Bard. Next week, I talk about the third of the rogue types. The one that got mentioned in the core book, in the rules book, for proficiencies that they get, but didn't get released in a book until the first of the non-setting supplements. Next week, we talk about the trader class. Until then, I'd like you all to remember, have fun and keep gaming.